Okay, give it a quick read there. Basically what you do is, like most pistons, you measure about a ½ inch down to the piston. That's where you measure your thrust faces at. Perpendicular wrist pin with a shocker. So basically right about here. Pretty much where most all the pistons are these days. So we grab our mic, take our piston, measure it. So it looks like if these guys are going for 1075 bore. See, I don't know what size the bore is supposed to be. That'd be about a 1/1000 clearance with the ground in the piston. So 1.25 inch, 1.25 there, about the same there. They got smaller there. See, if you wander around a little bit, you can see where the tight spot of the piston's at anyway. So it looks like this piston's at 24. You know every one of these is identical, right? Sure they are. I believe, too. So this piston is bigger with a shocker. So this piston is a ½ thou bigger. So is that because of coating sticker, or is it because someone doesn't know how to machine a piston? Which one do you think it is? And do I make it a ½ thou different sound like I would normally do, or do I just make it one size? That's the small one, that's the big one. Okay. So Harley says that you run 0.7 thou to 2.6 thousandths, 26 tenths. That is a nice generous range. That means if you blow on it and guess, you're probably going to catch the number. And then down here it says you can be up to 4.5 thou loose for the wear limit. They're really knocking this down pretty close, aren't they? So if the piston's made ½ thou out of round and you have a 1.9 thou tolerance range, that's why. Because they ain't worth a squat on their accuracy. What a shocker. Okay, so now I got to figure out if the pistons are different or the coating's different. So what I do is I go measure other parts of the piston a little bit further down, about as low as I can go. See what the piston diameters are down there. See if I can get some kind of a correlation to what the piston was before they coated it. Yeah, not really. Something around 16 3/4 on that one. Kind of about the same number. So down here where you're measuring this undercut area is, it's about the same, but see that's where the rings are coming in, I think. So it's really hard to measure that far down. Okay, so let's go just measure the skirt. We'll come up ½ a mic. Yeah, it's too much taper there to really measure that area. It's not very accurate, is what we're saying. Pretty close. There might be a tenth or so difference there, a couple tenths, but it's hard to tell. Okay, let's go measure over here. We'll measure on the tip of the piston. We're just playing around here, kind of seeing where the piston comes in at. Yeah. Everything shrunk about 1/4 of a thou. Pistons are warming up my hand. They shrunk 1/4. Usually they expand, you would think, but they actually shrunk. So it's being consistent, a 1/2 thou different. So usually that means I cheat. I'll make them different. Be nice to know if there's a coating buildup or not. Okay, this customer's going to drive a little bit hard, so I think we're going to go about one 1 1/4 thou, 1.2. So I think we'll do that. And I think I'll give that one an extra 1/4 of a thou, even though it's a 1/2 a thou bigger, because it might just be coating. Who knows? Everything's a guess. So right now we shrunk 1/4. So 1 1/4 puts it right on nominal size, which is 0 on the mic. Assuming that the pistons are 1075 is what they're supposed to be. I have no idea what the bore size is supposed to be. They don't tell you the bore size. I guess it's a secret. Yeah. The twin cam, they give you the bore size and give you no piston clearances. This one's the opposite. Performance stuff they do different than production. Okay, well either way, we set this for 1. We're going to hone it out. We're going to leave about 3 to 4 thou for honing. So we're going to go ahead and make this thing. So 75. So if I go this for 70, we're at 75. So if I make this at 71 on the mic, that's how much I'll bore it to. Right now we're pretty far down, so 71. This mic's about 1 off, I think. 1 1/2 off. Yeah, it's 1 1/2 off. Okay, so 71 is actually 72.5 on this mic. Okay, so I got an idea what I'm going to put over here. So we're going to bump this thing up. We're at 50 right now, or 15. What do we do? No, we're at 20. Okay, so we need to be up to 70 for the final. So there's 70, but we don't want to be at that. We're going to leave something for coming in. So we're going to leave 15. We'll leave 6 thou for a final, so I'm going to do 15 on the mic here. And I don't know if it's going to cut small or big, so we got enough clearance in here, we should know. So it's going to be a fairly big cut. It'd be really hard to measure it because it's so far down. Yep. I couldn't even see it. I dug it right in the darn thing there. That's not the best. Okay. Pretty heavy cut. Okay, so the mic is set. So something about right there is what we should have the bore at, hopefully. I get down to that low on the bore. You can see what I'm doing down there, so I don't know what I'm at. What am I actually measuring? Very little room for your fingers in here. Can't reach in there at all. It definitely isn't that size. Fingers get out of there. I don't think I got it set on the right size. Let's see, that was a 15. I went up one turn. 65, should be 65. I hate doing these ones where you can't see anything, you're at your fingertips. There we go. A little bit looser than that. Looks like we're cutting undersize a lot. Can't tell very well. I might have chipped the coater, who knows? Reset it. Do it again. See what happens. A little bit bigger. There she goes. That should be enough to just get in there this time. Problem was I didn't have enough to measure. Ah, damn it. Don't jam your damn finger in the cutter over there. So I gotta get down here and measure that with the mic way down deep in there. That hurt. Injuries. Okay, I'm gonna move this up to 15 like it should be. Yep. Yeah. Perfect. Got a nice plug fit, so it's right on the money. See, it's inside the cut now on both sides. It's got a little bit of a drag on it. It's hard to get up. Alright, so we'll measure that with the mic to see what it really is, but it should be good. Alright, so that's what we're going to cut there. So this was at 15, and this one was measuring 1 thou more to make it tight. So that should be good. Alright, I'm happy with that. I'll go ahead and bore all the way through this time. And we'll come back with a final 5 thou cut or so. 6, whatever we got. Okay, I think we're in the bore now. Got this on slow speed because it's a big cut and a big bore. And big heavy cut about there probably. Nope. Alright, making chips. Making big chips. Take about 3-4 minutes for that to go all the way through. So we're back. Okay, he just finished it. Here's what it looks like all done. I just gave it a quick check with the mic. It still goes in tight. I measured to this and it's 5 thou. It's right where it belongs for the size. So we got 6 more thou to go. So I gotta set that for 6 and hopefully it'll cut 6. With a light cut it might cut more, so who knows. That'll leave me 4, so it's a little off, no big deal. If it's way off, I'll just put the big piston in this hole and it'll compensate. Okay, I'm going to put this on 21. Right there. That should leave us 4. You really need at least 2.5 to 3. Really hone a cylinder out. Minimum. So best to have at least 3 or 4. 5 or 6 just becomes more work. You know what you need to do. Okay, there's that. Down. Where are we at here? Okay. Perfect. High gear. Finish with high speed. That's where we stopped before. I got my depth stop set it up, that's how far we're going to go down. This speed's about twice as fast almost, so it goes a lot quicker. How many chips we got in here already? Get loaded up. Chip disposal area. I use a snap-on screwdriver for my chip disposal area. Make sure you use the best tools for doing meter work. Don't want to be using no cheap craftsman tools for stuff like that. It's very important. Okay, so this is going to move up to about 22. Okay, so we got that set. So that should be a nice plug fit in the bore when we're done. Unless we screw it up. That's always possible. When you go a heavy cut to a light cut, things do change. I'm also going to have to do a chamfer on the top of the cylinder. Like this here for the rings. To go down easier. That's a very small chamfer too, it needs to be a lot bigger. So we'll put a bigger chamfer on this one. So we got about a little over an inch to go yet. So the chamfer tool is this one. Like a 45-degree cut on it. We'll use that. nice now. Doesn't sound like it's really cutting anything, does it? All right. There you go. Good. A drag on it. That's what I wanted. Okay. Here's the bit still sharp. That's a good sign too. Okay, so now hopefully this is long enough to stick out that far and not come unglued. So this one's easy. Go out as far as you can without hitting anything. Yeah, maybe a little bit or not. See if it hits anything. Yeah, it doesn't hit anything. Good. Disadvantage is it probably won't have much of a chamfer because it's limited on size. Yeah, very limited. So, okay, just below the table, I'm going to try to loosen it and move it out, but I don't know if I can do that or not. This is not made to do it this way, so there's probably no room. Oh, it just made it. Get into it. That's dangerous because I can't tell what I'm doing. Didn't hit anything. Well, it's definitely a lot further out now. Okay, see what happens. Started feeding down on me. Okay, now for the fun part. Can't pull it out until I move it in. Like I said, we're maxing out the equipment around here. There we go. Okay. We'll see what we got. Okay, here's what we have. Here's our mic. Nice and tight in there. It works. Right, good, I didn't cut too much chamfer down. I think I started digging in once I started cutting. So you can see I got a nice big chamfer. They don't have a very big one, see? It gives me plenty of room to get the ring started. Makes it a lot easier to put together. You got one like that, it's really hard to get the rings to start. Pain in the ass. Okay, that worked pretty good. Pretty smooth finish too. Man, that's a really smooth finish. Surprised. Yeah, well, don't run your rings on that. So this edge is just nice and sharp, so we'll just use our deburring tool, which is over there right now. Knock that down a little bit. See this one. So let's go ahead and hand cut this one. This thing's pretty dull, so don't make it cut anymore. So we just do a little bit of time. Go. So I chamfer the top of the cylinder so you don't get no detonation off of the sharp edge. We take the sharp edge off. So there you go. That's how you bore out a big bore cylinder. So I can do it one more time for this one. Then we get the hone. Oh boy. Alright, we'll be back in a little bit.